In conclusion, if you are trying to be prepared for incapacity, for healthcare, for finances, if something bad happens and you're in the hospital, if you're trying to control your assets, making sure they go to your kids, to whomever you want, minors, grandkids, charities, and you want this to all be done privately and outside of court, then we have tools to handle all of these things, okay? That's where we get into estate planning. That's what estate planning is for, all right? What questions do we have? Oh, that's all. Go ahead.
Have you ever heard of a ladybird?
Yeah, I have. I do hundreds of them a year. So there are primarily two types of deeds. There are quitclaim deeds and warranty deeds, okay? When people use the word ladybird deed, really what they're saying is there's specific language that I'm going to use within this deed that make it a ladybird deed, okay? And what that language is, it says, I own this home for my life, but when I pass away, I want my trust to be the owner. That language of me maintaining ownership in this home and then it conveying to somebody when I die, that's ladybird language. So any of my clients that have a trust, we do ladybird deeds for their primary residence for everyone who has a trust.
Okay.
Yep.
So it's just part of the...
It's a part of the estate plan. Yep, it's a part of an estate plan. Correct, to deeds only. Yep. What else? Go ahead.
Do you refinance your mortgage to put it in trust?
You do not. So a ladybird deed says you own the house in your name, and at your death it conveys to your trust. So your trust doesn't actually own it while you're alive. Regardless, even if your trust did own it, you still don't need to refinance, okay? Because these types of trusts are grantor trusts, meaning the person who created it's also the beneficiary of it. So no issues there. Go ahead.
I have money in savings accounts and a series IE or I bond.
Double E bonds or those sorts of fun things. Okay. Jason, you probably know what those are.
What I have is in trust for, I only have one child.
Yeah.
So does that have to...
Yeah, so what's your first name?
Mary Ellen.
Mary Ellen. Hi, Joe. You're in a unique situation. So the clients that I have that have one child, there's different ways we can approach that, and a lot of times we don't use trusts for people who have only children or an only child if that child's an adult. Obviously, if they're a 5 or 6 year old, it's a different story. But we could talk more specifically about your situation, and we'll probably see a trust isn't necessary for you.
Okay.
Yeah. Anybody else? Yep, go ahead.
In the beginning, you said that there was three main things that you needed for your lifetime.
Yeah.
There's power
Oh.
of attorney, your medical, what was the third?
Healthcare, and then kind of the part B of the healthcare is that HIPAA release.
Okay.
We've all heard of the HIPAA law, right?
I
Yeah.
did, but it was like,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. What else?
What is the benefit or detriment to putting only child onto the deed prior to now?
Okay. So we would want to do it through a ladybird deed. We would want to do a deed that says it stays in your name and on your death it goes to your child. Let's say it wasn't done that way. Say you added your kid now. I see this all the time. Somebody knows somehow, hey, if I pass away, I know my house is going to end up in probate court. So what's their workaround? They go have a deed prepared and they put their son on it.
Right.
Well, they've avoided court, but here's the potential downside of what they've done. A, they put their son on there, and I hope to God that he doesn't get divorced. I hope he doesn't get any drunk driving accident and seriously injure somebody. Why? Because you take on the liability of that owner on that home with you. Okay, so you've taken on their liability, which is sometimes an issue. And the other issue can be taxes. The way we structure deeds, your beneficiaries don't take the property until you've passed away. Meaning, they don't take the property of what it cost you. They take the property at what it's worth when you die. So if your home is worth $400,000 when you die, and your children inherit it and sell it for $400,000, they don't pay any money in taxes, okay? If your child was on your property 20 years ago, for convenience, the house was worth $200,000. You live 20 years and you die, And when you die, it's worth $400,000, and now your kid's like, well, cool, I avoided probate court. Here's the problem they have. They've been an owner on that home since it was worth $200,000. When mom died, they sold it for $400,000. They just had a capital gain of $200,000 they are going to pay taxes on, where if I did a deed and did certain language in the deed, they wouldn't pay a penny in taxes. Yeah. Go ahead.
If the man or the woman, they are married, one of them passed away and they own a home, the other one could sell the home?
Correct.
Yeah?
Yep.
No problem.
Assuming you're both untitled, but
If they
yes.
have children,
If they
the
what?
man have children, the wife didn't have children with him.
It would, if you're both on title and one of you passes away, it's the other spouses, and they can do whatever they want with it. They can sell it. There's no restriction. Yeah. None. Yep. Anybody else? Sure? Can you make it easy for me? Okay. All right. Well, if you guys have any questions, I'll have some cards out. And you know, estate planning isn't one size fits all. So everyone's situation, you can see people that have only children, people that are blended families, special needs. So it pays to sit down. Consultations are always free between with myself and my colleague. We don't charge for consultations. And we can kind of go through your specific family situation and plan for what's best for you, because not everything is one size fits all. So just an FYI on that.